Pursuit Daily.
Pursuit.
I am Matt.
I'm Dana. Are we sure it's live? Why don't you go make sure it's live?
Yeah, it's live. What
Go
do you
make
mean?
sure. I just don't know.
She doesn't trust me.
We're trying something new today, and it feels weird, but here we are. Pursuit Daily. Welcome back, guys. So, digging in right away.
Yeah.
What, yesterday?
Yesterday was a heavy one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dana brought us some deep stuff on some of the things that are just people aren't really thinking about, or at least aren't talking about too much right now in terms of when everyone says to stay home and stay safe, and maybe not everyone's home is actually very safe, and there's a lot there for sure.
I barely got through it without crying.
Yeah.
I don't know. We walked through that together though in our past, so it was just a very real topic for us, and it's something that I feel like God has put on our hearts. So if you didn't listen to it, you can check back on our YouTube. And God is just, people have already reached out to us about that. So God is definitely doing something.
Yeah, definitely.
But today we are kind of going along with a little bit more of practical things again. Last night we were talking to some of our close friends and just being like really in a place of vulnerability and real, like what's going on right now. And that was a question we asked, like what's going on in your guys' homes? Like what can we be preparing for you for? And like really though, not just like, hey, how you doing? But like really. Mm-hmm. And they gave like, answers, good answers. And then I was like, well, I'm actually really struggling. Like I'm an extrovert. Many of you have had, more time together or more time at least home, whether you're working from home, both of you, or you have your whole family, your kids are schooling from home now, you are being a stay-at-home parent, a work-from-home parent, a teacher of maybe if you have multiple kids, multiple grade teacher. And the thing that God showed us is like, we've never had as much time together as we do now, whether we're working and whether we're being intentional about it. True. The time we've had, like, we're just home. And yes, we are working. We're doing things for the kingdom and we're taking care of our kids and keeping our kids alive. But you were saying yesterday that like you really get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
And I think that that's good. Like, so many people have gotten into their own rhythms and what that looks like now. And it's caused for us a lot of tension. Like, it's kind of tricky.
It is hard because it's kind of a lose-lose. Whether you're more introverted or more extroverted, it seems like regardless, it's a tricky situation because we were used to these rhythms that we were in before, and we're creatures of habit. We're humans, so everybody has developed some sort of routine to some extent, most likely. And you're going to work, or you're doing what you're doing, or you're taking care of the kids, or like to some degree you're taking the kids to school. You're whatever season you're in, you're doing something relatively routinely, most likely, and now suddenly everything's just got flipped on its head.
And everybody is going through that, and that's
around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just got completely flipped, and now we're like, what are we doing? How does this work? And like I said, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you're feeling it because us introverts are like, okay, I love being home, but if you've got kids and you've got a spouse, then you're surrounded by them like all the time now, every second. Like you don't have a moment of silence. Yeah. And sometimes just the drive to work, that commute was that little bit of silence, that little bit of peace and quiet to sort of reset. Or maybe whatever your situation was, you had that. Yeah, but now it's like this whole other thing, which you're about to witness right now as
come here.
Chase attacks
He's gonna run. Come here, bud. Can I say hi?
Hey, buddy.
Oh yeah, gosh, this is our Chasey's. This is our Chasey's.
But yeah, and then like the same thing for extroverts too, because if you're an extrovert, you're used to being surrounded or finding time to be with tons of people.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can have conversations with different people, and you're seeing different people at work or in school or whatever your situation may be. And now suddenly, again, that routine has shifted. And now you're at home, and you have the same 3 little people or 4 little people.
Here's Passy. Got Passy, sorry. Oh. Yeah, and I think
the wrecking ball.
what you were saying too.
But yes, so it basically just creates that potential for like a lot of tension.
Tension for sure, and like I'm an extrovert, and both of our kids, I would say, are extroverts.
Right now, they seem to be.
And so we're really used to like meeting friends, going for walks, going to gymnastics. Pretty much every day we're out doing something. So what's been hard for us in this place is like any free moment I have, I like to fill it with reading and reading the word, and but a lot of times I'm face to face with people on my phone. So ways to connect.
Face to face on your phone?
Yeah, FaceTime, FaceTime, dude.
Okay.
And Matt's like, who are you calling now? And it's just, for me, like feeling connected to people. And I think one of the other things is like if you feel isolated, reaching out to people, because it's communication is a two-way street.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's been an adjustment for us. And I think that is one of the things that maybe for you guys too, it's caused the most tension in our home, because he needs some quiet time and I need some just like a lot of communication. And we've been doing these videos, but I think that's caused tension too, because I mean, the enemy knows that you guys, we need to be reminded of how to pursue God, but also pursue each other with intention. So,
right, absolutely. Yeah,
I think that that's where a lot of that goes, is like, you know, what we both need, but then are you being intentional about it?
Exactly. And, you know, because we want, I mean, the goal here is obviously to not have the tension, to not have that stress, that added level of stress, because we're in this season where it's just so easy to fall into that. And obviously, I don't think anybody really seeks after that or wants that. Hopefully. I know we don't, but we're definitely battling that.
Like,
we're struggling with that right now. And we're like, okay, God, help us through this. And I think really, if we want to prevent it, I mean, the prevention of tension is really only possible through intention. That's kind of a tongue twister, but you have to be intentional if you want to prevent tension in your family, in your house, in whatever the situation is. Like, the prevention of tension is only possible through intentionally.
So I know we've been in this like a week now.
Just over a week, yeah.
So how are you guys? Like, we need your help. How are you being intentional right now? So one of the things that we just released yesterday was the boredom busters, or the couples quarantine nights, and that's something, the date nights. So the couples quarantine nights are like date nights, and this is a shameless plug because you can literally pay whatever you can. And you're being summoned.
Yeah. Should I get them?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So basically with those couples date nights, you can pay whatever you can. So the reason that I think the Lord put that in our hearts to do for you guys is because we realized that we had gotten away from being intentional about our marriage and time with our family. So we were kind of in survival mode. So I told Matt that we really need to start doing those tonight, this week, having family activities. And they're so easy, you guys. You can literally pay $1, you can pay $1,000. But it's pay what you can. It's on our website. It's thepausePursuit.com/COVID, not Corvid, if you were there yesterday. So thepausePursuit.com/COVID. And those are just some great resources for you. So for us, we're really big about date nights. Matt and I are huge about having time together. And we haven't really made that a priority right now because we've been together so much during the day and trying to work. But like when you're working from home and when you're trying to feed everybody and get everybody, you know, calm and their schoolwork done, you're together, but you're not really together. So I think something that we've kind of lost sight of in this last week was just still cultivating and being intentional about things that we're doing in our home and on date nights. So we're going to start ours tonight, and we would love to see if you guys have them, if you've started them. But again, I think that's just one of those ways that we can truly be intentional in this time and kind of help, like Matt was saying, avoid the tension. And the prevention of tension only comes through intention.
Yeah.
That is so good. That'll preach, man.
Yeah.
The prevention of tension is only possible through intention.
Yeah.
I just love that. So then what if, and this is where we are, honestly, if we're being honest with you, we already have the tension. Like, you guys see us here, but that's something that we were really talking about last night with a group of our friends, is like, we're struggling. Like, we are trying to figure out this normal, and like Matt said, everybody's kind of found their own rhythm. But then the Lord led us to, if we already have the tension, how do we protect it? So in Song of Songs, it says, in Song of Song 2:17, it says, catch the little foxes, for it is them who ruin the vineyard in bloom. And what God spoke to us in that is, it's not always the big things in marriage or your family that divide you. It's not always the affairs or the lying or the cheating that divides you, but it's those little foxes. So for us, we've had to recognize, like, we're letting these little foxes in, and God is trying to bloom something with the pause pursuit in our family, in our marriage. And if we keep allowing those little bits of tension or those little foxes to come in and kind of spoil what God is trying to bloom in us, then that's where tension truly breeds into something bigger. So catch it when it's small. Hopefully this encourages you guys. Check out Song of Song 2:17. It talks about letting the little foxes in and not letting them spoil what God has in bloom. So if you're struggling with tension in your home today, you're not alone.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not alone. And
we can tell you firsthand you're not, because we're there too.
We are there too. But guys, we're going to also be sharing when we do the date nights and the family activities over on our site, pausepursuit.com/COVID. We are going to be sharing with you when we do those, and hopefully that encourages you to do them also. And like I said, you can pay whatever you can. Seriously, guys, like, we just want them to be in your home so that you can be intentional about what God is trying to bloom for you guys in this season of being home together.
Absolutely.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.